custom footwear worn by some of your favorite athletes.
You would not believe how many Next Level Custom.
The Next Level Custom.
Next Level Customs.
Next Level Custom.
Best custom-made shoes in baseball.
Next Level Custom.
Shout out Next Level Custom.
His art walks the walk. So far, every piece has been a home run.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shop Talk Podcast. We are here with a very man from Philly. Well, not exactly from Philly, but it is Dave O. Philly.
Yes,
Thanks for coming on, Dave.
Yes.
I appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
man.
You're welcome. I got my boy Larry Borden with me, too.
Yeah, Larry
from
in the
Aardvark
cut.
in Philly.
Shout out, Larry. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing? How you feeling? How's the game? You just came from the Phillies game.
Doing good. Phil's won 7-6. Nice to see them
Nice.
score some runs. I like seeing guys with no names on the back of their jerseys.
Yeah, I saw that. I love that.
That's pretty,
I love that.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting to see that. And
Yep.
we were talking about it. It's got to be cool for their families and like,
Absolutely.
the parents, to see their kid perform that way. And, we were saying it, whether you can afford it or not as a parent, like you're going to make that happen.
Have to.
If
Absolutely.
your kid is,
Have to.
trying to make the club, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Larry, how long have you known Dave?
I've known Dave, a couple years now? Yeah.
A couple years. Well, he's a cool dude, right?
Pretty cool dude.
So, Dave, you were just, before you came down here, you were at actually a hockey game, right?
I was at a hockey game in L.A. for the L.A. Kings. We did a charity event
Awesome.
to support the firefighters. Amazing turnout. We had some incredible celebrity coaches, Will
Yep.
Ferrell, Snoop Dogg, Vince Vaughn, Colby Smullers, Andrew Whitworth from the Super Bowl champion Rams a few years back with Hannah Stocking, who's a good friend of mine. It was just a really cool event. Danny DeVito.
That's awesome.
Which was incredible. He was amazing. And it was really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, he was just hanging out with Justin Bieber and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
The Biebs played.
Yeah, for sure.
No, he can play though.
Yeah.
I've
play.
seen him.
Well,
Yeah.
he's from Ontario, Canada, so
Right.
he knows how to skate. He's a huge Maple Leafs fan,
Right.
And he's pretty skilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife would freak out. That's what I told her. I'm like, oh, I know Dave. Dave knows Justin Bieber. I'm sending her like pictures of Dave and Justin.
Yeah, I said to Dave, or I was saying to Ryan, I said we got to get with Dave and we got to see if we can do a gender reveal.
Big gender reveal.
Because do you know?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
know.
You told him? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very excited
Yeah,
about it.
we
Yeah.
do a gender reveal. She would flip out though. She would lose her shit.
I'm hyped. I'm excited to see the little customs that are made
Yup,
for the little
you
one.
already
Oh,
know.
we're already talking
You
about
already
it.
know. You already
It's going to be
know.
a whole new line.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
love it.
So we kind of know what you do. How would you explain yourself to people who might not be familiar with you? How would you explain yourself?
I actually hate explaining it because it sounds a little bit. What's the word? I don't know. I don't want to say arrogant, but it sounds odd. I'd rather have Larry explain what I do.
Let's hear it, Larry.
Let's see. What Dave does, and I was the only kid. Dave and I grew up together, so I've known him for a
Oh,
while.
okay.
okay.
Gotcha.
So what Dave does, Dave just knows a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he's a connector. And so brands come to him, and he's looking, guys like you, get your shoes out to
Right.
the right people. And he's legitimately friends with these people.
Right.
I've been hanging around them long enough.
Yes.
That a lot of celebrities in LA count on Dave for a lot of things. And he takes care of them. He's kind of the quiet guy behind the scenes, making sure celebrities stay happy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We're doing homework on you, Dave.
Is that good?
And,
Yeah, that's great.
He's like, good.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. Here we go.
That's just some of the stuff.
Right.
That was great.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's like Big Dumb for celebrities.
Yes.
Exactly. He's
Right?
the fixer.
Nobody really knows what he does, but he gets stuff.
But
done.
he's important.
Yes.
We just know
Oh,
he's an
Chris.
important guy.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that box right there, for example, is for Miles Teller. So that's
Oh, no
just an
kidding.
example. Of,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Something
Just
to
Miles
do.
Teller.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing some homework on you, and have you Googled yourself?
I've Googled myself, but it's been a while.
It says you're an actor.
Well, I did dabble in acting when I was younger. I quit to play baseball, actually.
Really?
And then I got into TV hosting. But I acted a little bit when I was younger. Larry always laughs about it because I was in basketball. I had a couple lines in basketball.
That's
Yeah.
classic.
So this is what's
classic.
funny. While we were doing the homework, our guy Hoovy, he's our fixer. He's
Okay.
like you, but for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, basketball, that's my favorite movie. No way. So he wanted me to bring that up. Yeah, that's iconic.
It's funny. That was an incredible experience because that's right in the thick of things when Trey Stone and Matt Parker were doing South Park.
Yes.
Right.
And I remember I was on set with them, and they're exactly how you would imagine them to be. Like, they're no different, from how they are with that show.
Right.
And even at the table read, I remember we were in line. We did the table read, the script with everybody there, and we had a big buffet dinner afterwards. And I remember we got in line, and they go, "Look, corn." You know what that means, right? It was just like, they're just that way.
Yeah.
And then the day that I was on set, I get there, and they have these 2 giant trailers, and it was awesome because they had their South Park scripts that they were writing.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they were sitting there, so I got to see them before, like, read the scripts before they actually came out. And they go, "Do you want anything?" And I'm like, I'd love some gum. So they, like, whistle. Larry has a whistle, by the way. What's your whistle?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they whistle, and this assistant shows up, and they go, "Dave wants some gum." And they're like, "What do you want?" And I don't know why. I was like, "I want, I guess, Big Red." And the assistant was like, "That's like the only gum I don't have." And they're like, "Well, go get him Big Red." And I'm like, No, I'm not like that. No. And they're like, "No, go get him Big Red." And I was like,
crazy.
"Oh my God," I was so embarrassed. So
Oh, that's awesome.
it was pretty funny, but they were really funny, and like I said, what you see is what you get with those guys.
That's
cool.
incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of our followers probably know we just did a pair for Pete Davidson.
Yep.
You're good friends with Pete.
Yep.
Tell us what that was like. How did you connect with him? You know, how did you feel? You know, you guys hit it off, and how did that go?
Yeah, so Pete and I met years ago, and again, like Larry kind of stated, what Big Dom does for the Eagles, I do for a lot of people in Hollywood. I'm sort of like the nice Ray Donovan or a fixer, and it was really funny because I got a call from Captain America.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, I was at an event in Atlanta, and he goes, "My boy Pete Davidson's there, and he needs a couple favors. Can you help him out?" And I was like, "Sure, have him call me." So Pete called me, and I came through for him on a couple of things. And that was a funny weekend because I was actually with Chuck Liddell and Ric Flair. And
Woo!
Exactly. Woo! And I'm very blessed to spend time with a lot of people. But when you're with guys like Chuck Liddell and Ric Flair, that's a whole other
Right.
thing. Like
I can
every
imagine.
single person.
Ooh.
And Larry can attest to that. When we walk around with Chuck, it's like pandemonium, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah, I could imagine.
It's pretty funny, but it's like walking around with like a rock star.
Right.
And with Rick there and Chuck, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But it was funny because Pete was in a bind. He had to get back to New York, and he needed a jet. And he called me pretty late at night, and I was able to pull it off and get him a jet back to New York. And that was it. Like,
That's
he was like,
insane.
"You can do anything."
Yeah.
And so it was pretty funny. And the friendship just blossomed from there and just kind of took off.
Right. That's incredible.
He's a
Insane.
good dude. He's really a good
Oh, he's
dude, so-
awesome. Yeah, we didn't get to talk to him too long, but he
It still freaked me out when he had the the Tony Soprano Escalade.
Yes, that I was driving around.
His
and-
daily,
insane.
what's that? His daily driver. I'm
Oh my
freaking
gosh.
out.
So he's got a couple different cars. He's a big car guy, and that's one of them. But that one's probably like his crown jewel.
Oh,
for
it has
sure.
to be.
Yeah.
That has to be. That's sick.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a celebrity, influencer, whatever, that you were kind of starstruck by, or like, oh wow, like I've known this whoever since I was a kid, or
No, I've actually been really lucky with that. I think I grew up in the industry and I was around it from the time I was really young. And so I was never really affected by any of that. I think for me, really, really I learned that these people are exactly like we are. You
Right.
know, if you punch one of them in the stomach, they're going to go, "What'd you do that for?" Just like
Right.
if I were to punch you in the stomach or
Right.
punch Larry in the stomach, or, so it was one of those things that definitely, I was exposed to it. And so I never looked at those people differently. And also when I was really young, I had a couple instances where I was kind of disappointed or let down by people that were my heroes.
Right.
And once that happens, it humanizes people, and you go, wow, they're just like everybody else.
Right.
I actually had a situation with Reggie Jackson. I grew up, one of my mom's good friends was Jose Canseco's godmother.
Oh, okay.
So when I was really, really little, I got to hang out a lot with the Bash Brothers, with Mark McGuire and
that's
Jose
cool.
Canseco. And I would go to Oakland A's games and stuff like that, and I would hang out, in the hotel with them and all that. And it was really eye-opening for a couple of reasons. One, because these guys at the hotels had all these groupies.
Okay.
And we would come back from dinner, and there'd be tons of like flower arrangements,
Right.
like waiting for them. And I remember one time I was playing like a video game. I was really young, and a girl came up to me and she said, "Hey, I saw you walk in with Jose Canseco." And I said, yeah, he's like my cousin. And she goes, "Can you tell me what his room number is?"
No.
And I was like, that seems a little strange.
Odd, yeah.
And she was like, "Well, I'll give you a kiss." And I was like, this is weird.
What?
Like, I remember being so scared because at that point I was so little and so
How
young.
old? I was going to say, how
I was
old?
young.
Oh,
I was probably
wow.
like, I don't know, like 7 maybe.
Jeez.
Like, I was like scared, you know. I'm like, and I ran over to my mom and I'm like, "Mom, this woman said she'd kiss me if I tell her Jose's room number." So it was funny. But yeah, so I was exposed to that early on, and I remember there was one game in particular that I went, and after the game, Jose brought me into the locker room, and I'm sitting, hanging out, and the only guy that was like, I was a little kid, but the only guy that was small was a shortstop named Walt Weiss at the time, and Jose gave me a ball, and he's like, "Go around and have everybody sign it." And I went around and had everybody sign the ball, and everybody was super cool. I'm a little kid. And then we get to Reggie Jackson, and Reggie's like, "Who the hell are you?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. I'm like Jose's like cousin.
Right.
And I was just wondering if you could sign my ball, sir. And he like snatched the ball from me.
Jeez.
And I took it back. And I was like, if you don't want to sign it, you don't have to sign it. I don't know where I got that mentality at that age. And then Jose came over and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I go, I think Mr. Jackson doesn't want to sign my baseball. And Jose's like, "Reggie, sign his ball." And I was like, "You know what?
You don't want it after that.
Yeah,
I
after
don't
that.
want him to sign the ball." And that was a very big moment in my life because that's right when I realized that these people are just like the rest of us.
Right.
They have like off days, they have good days, they have bad days. And it really humanized the situation for me. And so I kind of thank Reggie in a way because that changed my whole outlook on how I approach these people moving forward. And they became just normal people to me.
Right. Yeah, I think we have similar situations where
you're the same way. You said the same thing. Like, you're young, too. And he would say the same thing, and I'd say, "Ryan, doesn't it get to you?" He goes, "I just treat them like I would treat anyone else. They're human."
Yeah.
I mean, we've had same thing, experiences. I mean, I try to give the benefit of the doubt, too. Like, guys are having rough days or a rough time and stuff like that. But, what's the old saying? You don't
Never
want to
meet your heroes.
Yeah, never meet your heroes, your idols. And,
Well, I remember I met one actor who I won't mention, but I remember I was super excited to say hi to him, and I was on set, and I had a couple scenes with him, but I hadn't had a chance to talk to him, and I remember I wanted to approach him, and he was outside of his trailer, and he was looking through some paperwork, and I went up to him, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind signing this for me?" And he was like, "Not now, kid," and I was crushed.
Wow,
and I remember I walked away, and I go, I don't know why he was so mean to me, and the director's like, he just got his divorce papers, and he was looking through the divorce papers.
Oh,
and
man.
I think you picked the bad time.
Yeah, it's
to
a bad.
approach him,
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so.
yeah.
Man, so obviously getting back to like the Philly kind of roots, you're really good friends with Big Dom. I know you told us a story about how you met him and how you were able to be good friends with him. Could you tell us a little bit about that again?
Yeah, I mean, Big Dom and I have certain relationships in my life that don't really make a lot of sense. Like my friendship with Snoop Dogg, people are like, "We don't get it. You're like a goofy white boy. Snoop Dogg. Like, how did that happen?" It's very similar with Dom. Dom and I just connected on a level, and I got really close with his family. Larry's now met his family, and we spend time with his son Nico, and Larry's boys Andrew and Matthew Borden. They spend time with him, and it's really cool. And it's one of those things that it just kind of developed. It was Super Bowl 2017 in Minneapolis. We won. It was an incredibly emotional moment for me because, my pops passed away, and it was like anything Philly sports related breathes that connection between my dad and I.
Absolutely.
So it was like really special for me. And so I was super excited, and we were going to go to the after party, and my friend fell asleep, so we were late for the after party. And we got there late, and a bunch of the players that knew me, they're like, "Dude, where were you?" And they're like, "You missed the Super Bowl trophy." And I literally like just sat in a chair, like just defeated. And Chris Long, La Flama Blanca, he like came up to me, and he's like, "Bro, let me go talk to somebody." And I was like, "It's okay, man." Like, I was just like so crushed.
Right.
And he's like, "It's all right." And next thing I know, he had told Dom like about my dad and why it meant a lot to me. And Dom was like, "Oh, it's in my room. I'll just go get it." And so he went up to his room and he went and got the trophy and brought it down for me. And it was like in a box and it was wrapped in the Tiffany like case and everything. And he handed it to me and that was it. Like after that, we were just like thick as thieves and we just connected really quickly. It was really special.
He wasn't what I expected though, Big Dom. When we
you see it on TV, and he's like he
seems very shy,
intimidating and all. When we met him, he was awesome.
He's
man.
like larger than life, but he seems very like just doesn't want to be in the spotlight. You can
humble.
just tell, humble. Yeah. Even when they asked, like those guys look like they were telling him to come up and like do the speech.
Yeah.
On the museum steps, and he's just like
No, he gets
Thank
very
you, Philly. Yeah.
He gets very shy, and he's very unassuming. I think it's interesting for him because he's one of those people. He's famous for being famous.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not famous because he's an all-pro football player. He's not famous because he's the head coach.
Right.
He's famous for just being himself. And I think a lot of times when that happens, people have an interesting time with that. Mentally, it's like, how did this happen for me? But he's been nothing but great, and he's the best guy ever. He looks out for everybody. I mean, Larry can talk about his story with Super Bowl this year where, like, Dom called him out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, he is definitely what you see on TV. What you don't see from him is what A.J. Brown said, which after talking to him after the Super Bowl, there's no doubt in my mind that if it wasn't for Big Dom, these guys wouldn't win the Super Bowl, which begs the question, does every team have a Big Dom?
Right.
Because these are all young guys making a ton of money. And there's all kinds of things that are going on behind the scenes. And you need somebody who's got some street cred, who's big, right? Like Howie's not going to go over there and break up a fight or calm a guy down or take him in the office and talk to him. But Big Dom's that he's like a big brother. He's like a father to some of these guys. And he is as genuine as everybody thinks that he is. Just a really, really great guy. I've seen it with my own eyes. And hopefully he can help lead that team again.
Absolutely.
To another Super Bowl.
No Absolutely. I've heard of players, coming to Philadelphia because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Who was it, Slay? I think who was it?
Yeah.
He said Slay's like, I thought I was going to Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because of him, he stayed in Philadelphia. I mean, that says a lot right there.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, there is a Big Dom in every team. There's a head of security for every team. They're just not the personality that Dom is, and they don't have the responsibilities that Dom has been given. And his role, he kind of, like me, he kind of developed his role out of thin air. It's like he had a job to do, but then it just turned into something else. And it's really special. But, there's a guy in Chicago that's like the Big Dom of the Bears. There's a guy in Miami that's the Big Dom of the Dolphins. But they aren't as involved in the day-to-day of the players. Big Dom is, like Larry said, he's a brother. He's a father figure. He's a therapist. He's a counselor. The guys feel that he's cool. Yeah. So it's like they can go talk to him. It's different than going to talk to, like, another coach or to talk to, Nick or Howie. It's just a different type of dynamic. And all those guys have their roles, and the players go to Nick for certain things, and they go to Howie for certain things. Right. But they definitely go to Dom for certain things.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I think that makes perfect sense. But I think
a lot of trust there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's for the fans, like when that kind of scuffle thing happened a couple years ago. I think that's when I think that was the first, like, oh, this dude's going to bat for these guys. Like he's
one of us.
Yeah,
like he's willing to go there with our guys.
For
like
that, he'll forever be like.
And that night was amazing. I mean, he literally became a folk hero that night.
Yep.
And that night was incredible because I actually was the first person to meet him in the tunnel when the NFL security escorted him off the field. I literally met him in the tunnel, and he got a standing ovation.
Yep. As he should.
And they took us into the coach's locker, which they have a separate locker room for the coaches. And an NFL security guard sat outside the door because he wasn't allowed to leave or be anywhere around the game. And a couple of the coaches came in and, said, "Are you okay, big guy?" And he was like, yeah, I'm all right. He had like a little cut like on his face. Yeah. And, his son came in, and it was just us sitting there with him, and it was incredible. Like, it was incredible to be there, and literally, I mean, the next day, everybody picked it up.
It was insane.
ESPN was talking about it. Pat McAfee, I think has a crush on Dom. Like a lot of people have.
He's
man
one of
crushes
us.
on
Like
Dom.
that. That's what I love about it.
Oh, I was amped. I was watching the game, and I'm like, get his ass, get his ass. Like, I'm amped, man. Like that was so sick.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a testament to like how much Philly loves him. Like I hope he knows how much Philly really loves him. And that I mean, even like when you took us to Angelo's, like when we left. Like Big Dom was right behind me.
I felt like a superstar.
So did I. Everyone's like, "Oh my god!" with pictures and all. Like he is loved, man. Like that was such just an insane feeling.
No, absolutely.
At the Super Bowl, I took these guys to go get oysters.
Oh, okay.
And it was Big Dom in the front of a Uber, Pete Davidson, me and Dave.
Oh wow, okay.
And people were freaking out because Big Dom was there.
Yeah,
not anybody else.
Right next to him, and all they cared about was Big Dom. And
that is electric.
He was a legend.
It was funny because these kids from Philly, they saw him and they were hammered, and they're like, "Oh my God, Big Dom, you're like the savior! Like we're gonna win the Super Bowl because of you. It's because of you. You're the man. You're a legend, Big Dom."
That is insane,
and it's just awesome. And it's very similar to how I said when I walk around with Chuck Liddell, or I walk around with Ric Flair, or I walk around with Snoop. In Philly, it's the same thing. When I walk around with Dom, it's that same kind of thing, you know, that you have going on. And it's really cool. Even this year, you know, we're here in Clearwater for Philly spring training. This year, Dom and I went to Jingle Ball, which was at Wells Fargo.
Yep.
And he was asked by Katy Perry's team to introduce Katy Perry.
Oh, wow.
And so Dom and I are there backstage. And Bryce Harper I'm blessed to be a good friend of Bryce's. And Bryce and his wife are there.
Yeah, thank you, Dave, with the assist.
You're welcome. And Bryce and his wife, Kayla, were there. And Kayla's a huge Tate McRae fan.
Yep.
And so to surprise Kayla, Bryce came out to introduce Tate McRae.
Oh, yeah.
And when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, my God, Davo." And, you know, we hugged and everything. And then I'm like, "Big Dom." And he's like, "Oh my God, Big Dom!" Like Bryce was like, "Oh my God, I've never met you." Like, and Bryce was like starstruck.
Yeah.
And so Bryce had to go up and introduce Tate McRae, and he was like, "I'm not introducing Tate McRae unless Big Dom comes with me."
Oh yeah.
And so Big Dom is like, "This is weird. Like I don't get it. This is weird. You can tell. I don't get it." And so it was awesome.
He has that vibe.
Awesome.
Like
That's
you
awesome.
can just tell he does not want. He doesn't like that. He doesn't have that comfort of like I want to be the center of attention. He kind of like I seen you guys. It was you and Pete. I think it was like Channel 3 or something. They were doing an interview, and you see him slowly kind of walk out of the frame, and they're like, "Where are you going? Yo, come back!" You can just tell he don't feel comfortable.
It was funny, and you know he had the same effect on Pete. I told Pete's a New Yorker.
Right.
Through and through. He's not a Philly fan.
You didn't convert him yet, huh?
He's a diehard. Well, we're getting there slowly. But what happened with me bringing Pete to Philly was I was like, I just want you to come to Philly. I want you to be around real people. I want you to see the environment just as a sports fan. Whether you like the Eagles or not, I don't care. I just want you to see it as a sports fan, and I want you to meet this guy, Big Dom. Mm-hmm. And I had told him all about Big Dom, and he was kind of fascinated by it. And, you know, he met him, and he's like, "Dude, I think I'm in love with Big Dom. I think I have a crush on Big Dom." And so, you know, that's kind of how that all formed.
I think Pete said this. Like, he's the real life Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Yes,
and if he liked The Sopranos, I could see how he likes it, man.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But so technically, right, you're not from Philly, but you do have some strong Philly roots. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in L.A., unfortunately. I spent a lot of my summers growing up in Philly with my mom and dad and visiting my grandpa, my uncles. And it was funny because I remember being 7, 8 years old, climbing trees in Philly, like South Philly, King of Prussia area. And I would tell kids, like, I would cry because I was like, I want to stay here.
Yeah.
There was just, Philly always had my heart and soul. And I think it was because of my connection with my dad and my dad's side of the family, my grandfather, and our love for baseball. And I was just injected at birth to be a Philly sports fan, which up until recently was a horrible, horrible curse.
Right.
You know,
Yes, sir.
Right.
I know
starting to change a little bit. But yeah, my dad was born and raised in South Philly. One of my uncles went to Penn State and went to Villanova Law School. Another uncle went to Temple. And one of my uncles was the DA of Williamsport. So his family lives up there, and I go up there for the Little League World Series, which is the greatest sport event on earth.
Again, I tell everybody, I'm like, listen, if that should be on your bucket list.
Yep.
I mean, we've gone there several times, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing event.
There's
Amazing
nothing
experience.
like it, and
I
it's
agree.
the purest form of sport. It's the purest form of joy.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to be there with the Phillies a few years back, and I remember Jake Arrieta and I were in the stands, and like the Phillies were like, Jake, we got to go. Like, we have a game. And he's like, let me stay a little bit longer, because he was just with the kids, like showing them how to grip a curveball. And, it's just, it's sports. It's what it's meant to be. It's like for the true love of the game.
No, that's awesome.
If you've never been,
you have to
do it.
I
agree.
Well, I think that's all we got for now. Dave, appreciate you coming on, man. Really means a lot to us. Thanks, Larry, for coming on.
Thanks,
it's nice
Larry,
to meet you, man. And that'll do it for this episode of the Shop Talk Podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks, guys.